You ever hit record knowing it might be the last sound you make? That's what I'm doing now. The tape's running, the red light blinking in this cold cabin by the lake. If someone ever finds this, don't bother looking for my name, it's buried deeper than the rest of Unit 47. Just know I was one of them. And I remember everything. It was January 2009, the kind of winter that splits tree trunks and freezes spit midair. Huron-Manistee National Forest, northern Michigan. Snow stacked like white tombs across the pines. When the chopper dropped us near Baldwin Creek, it was already dusk, gray sky sagging low, rotors kicking up frost like the ghosts of the men who'd gone missing before us. Officially, we were on a wildlife containment op. Unofficially, command wanted it quiet. They said a few campers had been torn apart, 2 deputies gone missing. Local talk blamed wolves. We were told to confirm and neutralize. That's government for don't come back empty-handed. I remember stepping off that bird and thinking it was too quiet. No crows, no crunch of deer. Just the wind threading through trees like breath through teeth. Sergeant Cole clapped me on the shoulder, grinning through the frost. Michigan hospitality, he said. But even he stopped smiling when we reached the tree line and found the first prints. Not human. Not quite animal either. Big as a dinner plate, sunk deep into the snow, heel like a man's, toes like claws. We moved in formation, 5 of us. Cole, Hayes, Moreno, Dillard, and me. Each man a veteran, each carrying a rifle, 2 sidearms, and too much silence. By nightfall, we'd reached the old ranger cabin, boarded windows, 1 door hanging off its hinge. Inside smelled like rust and wet fur. There was a map pinned to the wall, dates scrawled along the edges. Missing people, all within 20 square miles. Some lines marked in red, others burned right through the paper. Cole said we'd set up base there. I could tell by the way his eyes flicked to the dark corners that he didn't want to camp outside. I took first watch. Cold enough to burn your lungs with every breath. I remember looking out past the tree line, seeing our motion sensors blink green like little stars. Then, faintly, under the hum of the generator, I heard something. Not the wind. A low, rhythmic growl, almost like a man humming through his chest. I clicked my radio. Cole, you hear that? Static. Then his voice, soft, uneasy. Stay sharp. Probably a moose. But moose don't sound like that. And they don't stop when you stop listening. At dawn, we found claw marks on the side of the Humvee. Long, deliberate strokes, deep enough to peel paint and metal both. Moreno cursed under his breath. Hayes tried to measure the spacing. 18 inches apart, he said. That's one hell of a paw. Cole said nothing. Just stared at the tracks leading away into the forest until they vanished into fog. We spent the day setting tripwires and thermal drones. Nothing came up. No heat signatures, no movement. But I kept catching whiffs of something metallic in the air, like old blood under snow. That night, I couldn't sleep. I lay in my bunk listening to the forest. There's a rhythm to nature if you pay attention. Wind, creaks, animals scurrying. But there's also something else, a pattern that doesn't belong. It was there now. Footsteps pacing just beyond the cabin. Slow. Heavy. Deliberate. When I finally gathered the nerve to peek through the window, I saw nothing, just trees bending under moonlight. Then something blinked back. 2 yellow points in the dark, low to the ground, swaying side to side. I froze. Didn't breathe. The eyes didn't move for a full 10 seconds, then vanished as if swallowed by the forest itself. I woke Cole. He came to the window, saw the marks, nodded. We go out at first light, he said. No one wanders alone. At sunrise, we found Hayes' patrol route cut short. His footprints circled a spruce tree twice, then stopped. His rifle lay nearby, barrel bent like someone had twisted it. The snow was disturbed but not bloody. It was as if he'd been lifted clean into the air. Moreno swore it was a bear. Cole muttered, "Show me a bear that walks upright." We followed the tracks until the GPS cut out. Then we saw it, the carcass of a deer, hanging from a branch 12 feet up. The skin peeled, the eyes gone, the chest cavity empty like something had reached in and scooped it clean. The smell hit first. Iron and rot. I can still taste it when I think about that day. We radioed command. No response. Just static and a faint voice, almost like someone whispering from underwater. I swear it said our names. One by one. Dillard went pale. "Turn it off," he said. "Just turn it off." But Cole wouldn't. He was listening for something. Then he turned to me, his face drained of color. "Did you hear that?" It said Cole. We stood in silence. Even the wind had stopped. Somewhere deep in the trees, something cracked like a branch, or a bone. By nightfall, the fog rolled in so thick we could barely see past our boots. Cole ordered us back to the cabin. We moved fast, rifles up. I caught glimpses of shapes between trees, too tall, too smooth in their movements. One passed near me, maybe 30 feet away, half hidden by mist. Broad shoulders, hunched posture, arms too long for a man. The smell hit me again, wet fur and decay. Then it was gone. I never saw it move, but I swear it knew I was there. Inside the cabin, Cole locked the door and told us to stay quiet. We sat there, 5 armed men afraid to breathe. Dillard started whispering prayers. Moreno loaded his last mag. I just watched the frost crawling up the window like veins. Then, faintly, came tapping on the glass. 3 knocks. Slow, steady. We aimed our guns, but there was nothing outside. Only our own reflection, pale and shaking. Hours passed. The generator died. The silence pressed down like weight. Then, through the stillness, came a sound I'll never forget, a low growl rising into a human scream. Hayes' voice. "Help me." It echoed through the woods, desperate, broken. Cole grabbed his rifle. "He's alive," he shouted. But I caught his arm. "That's not him," I said. "Listen." The voice came again, same words, same tone, exactly the same. Like a recording. "Help me." Then again, closer. "Help me." Cole froze. His mouth opened, but no words came out. We held the cabin till dawn. When the sun broke through the fog, the forest looked peaceful, untouched. But something had changed in us. Hayes was gone, and Cole had that faraway stare soldiers get when they've seen something they can't explain. He looked at me, jaw tight, eyes red from no sleep. "You saw it too, didn't you?" he asked. I nodded. He took a long breath and said quietly, "Don't tell command a damn thing." "Not yet." They knew about this.
The snow came down in sheets that night, fat and heavy, swallowing sound. You could fire a gun in that valley, and the forest would choke it down before the echo came back. We were 5 dots of heat against an endless ocean of white, trudging between skeletal trees that looked like frozen ribs. Cole led the way, checking the GPS every few minutes while Hayes cursed about the cold and kicked at the drifts. Dillard carried the thermal drone case, like it was the Ark of the Covenant. Moreno hummed under his breath. He always did when he was nervous. Me, I just listened. I've learned over years in the field that the woods have a rhythm, and when that rhythm breaks, something's wrong. It was wrong that night. No owls, no cracking branches, no trickle of ice melt. Just the crunch of our boots. Rhythmic, in sync, until it wasn't. Because every few minutes, when we stopped, something else stopped with us. Like footsteps waiting for our cue. We set camp near a frozen creek that cut through the valley like a silver scar. Cole gave orders. Drones up, sensors out, motion perimeter in a 50-yard radius. The air was so cold it made the equipment scream when you tried to handle it barehanded. Hayes cracked jokes to keep warm, talking about how werewolves come free with every Michigan winter. No one laughed except him. He'd only been with the unit 6 months. Still thought fear was something you could joke away. Moreno launched the drone, its tiny rotors slicing through the still air. The feed came in black and green, temperature readings flickering across the monitor. The forest looked dead. Not a single moving heat signature within 500 yards. Cole frowned. "Where the hell are the animals?" he muttered. "Even rabbits show up on thermal." He turned to me. "Tell me what you're feeling, Carter. You've got that tracker sense." I hesitated. "Feels hollow," I said finally. "Like the woods are waiting for something." Cole grunted. "Then we make them wait longer." The hours dragged. The wind picked up and the snow came sideways, hard enough to sting through our goggles. We built a small fire shielded by tarps, the orange glow barely enough to touch our faces. Hayes was still at it, spinning stories about northern cryptids, dog-headed men, Wendigos, skinwalkers. He said his grandfather saw one once, outside Marquette. Said it walked on 2 legs and smiled like it knew him. "Shut it," Cole said flatly. "We're here to do a job, not tell ghost stories." Hayes smirked, but went quiet. I could tell he was nervous. Everyone was. The air had that pressure to it, like the second before lightning strikes. Then one of the motion sensors beeped. Once. Twice. Then fell silent. Dillard checked the monitor. Zone 4. 30 yards out. Movement detected. Cole nodded. Thermal. Nothing. No heat at all. He stared at the screen. Could be the storm screwing with it. Still, let's check it. We geared up, rifles raised, flashlights slicing through the dark. The snow was falling thicker now, clinging to our sleeves and rifles. We reached the sensor pole half buried in snow, red light blinking steady. No tracks. No sign of disturbance. But the pine above us, there was something hanging there. At first, I thought it was a tarp. Then the beam of my flashlight found fur. A deer, gutted and hanging upside down, its ribs clean as bone china. The organs were gone. Not eaten, removed. Too precise for an animal. Too messy for a man. Jesus Christ, Moreno whispered. What could do that? Cole's jaw tightened. Get pictures. We report it at dawn. Hayes gave a shaky laugh. So maybe it's a werewolf surgeon. Keep talking, Hayes, and I'll hang you next to it, Cole snapped. We trudged back in silence. The snow muffled everything, even our own breathing. The fire had almost died when we returned. Dillard stoked it with shaking hands. You smell that, he said. Like rust. It wasn't rust. It was blood in the air. We took shifts that night. I had second watch. The forest looked like glass, moonlight bouncing off every drift. My NVGs painted it all in shades of sickly green. I scanned left, right, checked the sensors, nothing. The wind hissed through the trees, and for a moment, I thought I saw movement, a dark shape crossing the creek. Tall. Fluid. Gone in an instant. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, looked again. Nothing. Then the radio hissed. Carter, you good? Cole's voice. Yeah, I whispered. Just thought I saw something across the creek. He didn't respond right away. Then, stay put. We'll check it together at dawn. But dawn never came right for us. Around 0400, we heard the scream. A man's voice, somewhere west of camp. Short, sharp, cut off halfway. Hayes was on patrol that direction. We ran, Cole in front, me right behind, snow exploding under our boots. His trail led 30 yards into the trees, then stopped dead. The snow around it was flattened, like something heavy had landed there. His rifle lay half-buried. The barrel bent almost in half. The sling was shredded, edges frayed like teeth had chewed through it. Moreno knelt, fingers brushing the metal. No blood, he said softly. No body. Cole's voice was low. Pick up that rifle. We're heading back. But I couldn't move. The woods were too still again, too quiet. My breath fogged the air, drifting out and vanishing quick. I scanned the tree line, heart pounding. Nothing. Then, through the NVGs, I caught the faintest flicker, eyes. Yellow, unblinking, hovering at a height that didn't make sense. 8 feet up, maybe more. The shape around them was wrong. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, limbs that moved too smoothly to belong to anything human. The eyes locked onto me. I couldn't look away. My throat closed up, pulse roaring in my ears. Cole followed my line of sight. What do you see? I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. The eyes blinked once, slow, deliberate. Then the radio on my chest crackled to life. Static. Then my name. Carter. It was a whisper, stretched and hollow, like it came from somewhere too far and too close at once. My blood turned to ice. Carter. It said again, clearer this time. Not Cole's voice. Not Hayes's either. Something deeper, wrong. Cole grabbed my shoulder. We're leaving. Now. We backed away, rifles raised, steps careful, trying not to break the rhythm of the snow. The eyes followed for a moment longer, then vanished as if someone had snuffed them out.